How are you doing?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you.
Fantastic. So tell me what you have in mind, and is there anything I can help you with?
Sir, basically, I'm a final year student. I mean, I'll be graduating. I'll be having my final year exams. So right now, I'm not having any question regarding myself. Basically, I joined the internship program because my mom is having her own firm. She's into life coaching, relationship coaching, and basically into counseling. I mean,
Okay.
she's right now working as a general counselor for Sophia Group of Schools. I mean, for all over Rajasthan.
Okay.
So basically she has been into teaching field for the past 20 years, and now she did her life coaching from Robin Madonna's training, by Tony Robbins. Then she did NLP, and then she combined both of these, and she now uses this to solve problems of students or working professional, basically stress
Mhm.
management, anxiety and all.
Okay.
So she was having offline clients. Basically she was offline. She did not have any online presence as such. So I was a tech guy. I'm from IT. So I thought that maybe we need to take it online and
Mm.
gain clients, because it is from health industry, and there is a huge demand for this. And also mental illness and mental health is something that is underrated in India and will develop soon.
100%.
So yes, sir. So basically, I was looking for strategies. What are the branding strategies that I should use? I did my research, and then I started for the product development. I developed 2 to 3 programs also. And sir, I'm having curious. How should I start with it, or how should I proceed ahead?
So whatever your mom is doing, is it around her own work, or do you have like a team of people doing this?
Sir, she is doing it on her own. Me and my
Okay.
mom right now. That's the team only
Okay.
for the
Fantastic.
beginning.
So, since it is your mom who is doing counseling herself, and when you look at mental health, it's a very, very big market, and a lot of people have a lot of problems with a lot of things. So, right now, what is the business model, and how is it like B2B2C, where she is reaching the consumers or the end customers through the schools and institutions where she is offering help, and what is the exact format of delivery? Is it like one-on-one counseling?
Sir, basically it is one-on-one counseling, and she was into teaching. I'm from Kota, Rajasthan. So basically this is a high pressure city as
Yes,
it is.
yes, I
So
have been to Kota once.
so basically she used to get her clients by herself. She used to teach English. She used to work as an HOD of English in model school. That is one of the best schools out here. So she had a brand name. She used to run a coaching business for teaching English. So she used to get 100 200 students in a batch.
Okay.
So she had a name. So when she transitioned into this, and then she started using social media, so she used to get an inflow of clients. And we used to get 2 to 3 clients a month, and that would be it. That would be sufficient. So basically she is having a flow of clients, but by online method we do not have any business as such. So I want to establish it out there. And regarding coaching, sir, basically first of all we organize the free discovery call, and based upon free discovery call we decide whether we should go ahead or not, because sometimes a person may be suffering from clinical depression or something clinical that cannot be undertaken by us. That needs doctor help or
Yes.
professional help. So that would be unethical for her part to mint money or something like that. So basically first of all we organize a free session. After that we tell the prospective client that this is the problem. This can be done in these many sessions, and then we proceed further. So I developed a website also after the fourth assignment, I guess.
Okay.
And I thought of first developing an e-commerce store, but then none of the products have a specific ticket price right now.
Mm.
So the ticket price is that we charge 2,500 per session. That's it. And the session ranges from 2 to 3 months, and depending upon the requirement of the client, basically. So we do it all for the client, all based upon the requirement.
So if a client is coming, what is the format of delivery? Is it like a client means, is it an end customer or is it like a school?
Sir, both of them. Basically, in school, whenever we go, we are having a fixed amount of session. We conduct workshops out there. And
Mm.
then based upon the workshops, we take the queries as per the amount of students. So there we don't have to do anything. And suppose if a client comes, then we design the work, we design the number of sessions, we design the hours, and then we continuously monitor it. And the it can be conducted in person, or basically after COVID we started using Zoom and Google Meet.
Mm, mm.
So I mean, basically it is all tailor made. I mean, we
Okay.
have not yet
So,
decided
so
on
let's
anything.
say, who is the average end customer who is requiring your help? He is doing probably an entrance exam and he is feeling a lot of pressure about it.
No, no, no,
Is that
no, sir.
it? Okay.
Basically, any student, any working individual. I mean, there is any student or any working individual who suppose feels that he is not happy, or he who is suffering from stress, or needs a life coach. Basically, who needs to change the pattern of his life. There are some thoughts that continuously hinder your progress or bugs you. So basically, that would be my customer.
Again, I would say that it's too much of a broad targeting. When it comes to mental health issues, a lot of people have a lot of problems. And from what I have heard, so I have been consulting with this website called yourdost.com. Have you heard about
Sir,
it?
yes, sir, yes, sir,
Okay.
yes, sir.
So the CEO of Your Dost is my friend, and I have been consulting them as well. And they have different sections. One is career related issues, one is relationship related issues.
Yes,
So the market is too big for one
definitely.
personal brand to spread yourself too thin. So if you guys are consulting some student who has a problem, then you are consulting a professional who has a problem with his work, then you are consulting someone who has a relationship problem, then what will happen is that it will be difficult to establish yourself as a brand unless you are creating something like a platform like Your Dost, or there are a bunch of platforms for mental health. Unless you are creating a platform, it's not recommended for an individual person to spread yourself too thin.
Okay, sir.
And if you look at who can actually afford the services, yes, eventually you would want to help students as well. But right now, if you are doing one-on-one consultations, who can actually afford your services are probably professionals. And if you look at a professional who is in the age group of 30 to 35, and if this particular professional, you can even go sub niche in that. Like for example, let's say 30 to 35-year-old women who are in corporate, and then they end up getting married, and then they have a kid. They go through a huge amount of stress because now they are suddenly at home, they have to take care of the kid, and then they have to take care of the entire career part as well. So this is one big niche, and the niche is big enough for the business to scale into millions and millions of dollars. So based on what your mom has already done, we have to pick out a niche where you understand that, okay, this particular niche has a problem and this particular niche can also pay. In terms of what, and eventually as your business grows, obviously you can use the profits to give
Spread.
back to the society, but you definitely have to go behind the entire market which can afford your services right now, because if you cannot sustain yourself, how can you provide value? So
Definitely.
even when you look at Tesla did not create a mass market Model 3 directly. They first created a
Definitely.
sports car, and then they used the profits to fund the Model E, and then they went ahead and funded the Model 3. So that's how you have to look at this entire thing. So based on the existing experience, there has to be a niche that is carved out. And once a niche that is carved out, your mom has to establish herself as a personal brand in that niche. And this would involve creating a blog, creating content around it. And, let's assume that your target market is professionals who are in their 30 to 35. And this professional is facing a lot of work politics, and then they are not able to balance
Stressed out.
their work and life. They're not having a work-life balance. So your mom has to start writing articles about it, probably start creating YouTube videos about it, start putting it out there. And you can also do outreach campaigns. So recently I did a webinar on lead generation. I'm also going
Yes,
to
sir.
publish a long video on lead generation. And sometimes it also makes sense to just reach out to LinkedIn contacts or reach out to people who are in your target market and just ask them, what do you think about the content? It could be YouTube videos, it could be a bunch of blog posts, and the bunch of blog posts can be clubbed together and it can be put out as a Kindle book.
Ebook. Yes, sir.
So once you have a very clear understanding of the market, of your target market and your niche, and once you have a very clear understanding of their problems, initially it has to be online consulting. So you are either booking calls like, hey, I will talk to you every week, or I will talk to you twice in a month and I will check with you. and I will give you suggestions on how you can improve your life. So initially, you should not focus on scale and profits, because you need to get the product market fit right, which means that you need to understand your target market very well, and you need to give the right solutions. And what your mom will observe, or you will observe over time, is that because it's a specific niche, and because the needs of this niche are very similar, like for example, I'm just pulling it out of thin air, but it might be different. But for an example, let's say most of the professionals have a problem with the relationship that they have with their boss. Or if it is female professionals, they have a problem with a male boss. Let's assume that this is the problem. So once you identify a certain problem, then you can slowly move from one-on-one consulting to mentoring. So mentoring is basically like a group consulting. You tell that there is a program, and you also build an email list around it, right? Stress management for working professionals. This could be the ebook. This could be the lead magnet. You target the right audience on Facebook. You start generating the leads, and for these leads, you start delivering them content. Ask them to watch your YouTube video. Ask them to read your blog, and then once you have enough testimonials from doing one-on-one consulting with these people and helping these people will obviously give back testimonials. They might give video testimonials and all that.
Sir, actually, we are having right about 100 testimonials, 100
Oh,
to
fantastic.
120.
Fantastic. You already have the testimonials,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So,
And sir, basically regarding that niche, we have narrowed down to only 3 programs. We right now provide life coaching, relationship coaching, and basically how to be happy in general. And
yeah, I think you should niche it down to one thing out of the three.
one thing, only one thing right now.
Yes. It's enough
Okay.
to create a multi-million-dollar business just out of one thing. Eventually, you
Sure, sir.
can expand out. So the way
Once
I
the
look at
brands
it,
gets
it's like a
established.
bullet to penetrate the market. So let's say all your target customers are beyond a wall, and you have to cross that wall. You will not demolish the entire wall. You will just put a hole in the wall, and then you will go to the other side, and then you can access everything. So that hole in the wall is
Definitely.
basically one area of the market where, let's say, relationships. Even within relationships, there will be a niche. You can just
Definitely.
focus on that niche. Is it men or is it women? Is it psychological issues? Is it sexual issues? Is it issues related to parenting and kids? You can go really niche. That's when the brand will kind of get out there. Like for example, let's assume that there are a bunch of people walking down the street. I see, like, let's say 50 100 people, they are walking down. Let's say if they are walking down from a subway station. If you call, hey everyone, will anyone respond? No one will
No
respond.
one will.
But if you call, hey, all the men out here, some will respond. But if you go more specific, hey, is there any doctor here? Then maybe there are 2 or 3 doctors, they will put their hand up. If you go even more specific and if you call out a name, then that person is definitely going to respond. So your message to the market has to be very specific for one particular niche. And that is when the market will respond, because the market feels like, oh, they are talking to me. If you are talking to everyone, they don't feel like replying, right?
Definitely, sir.
So even within relationships, let's say it is new couple issues, or issues with couple 5 years down the line, where everyone is getting busy with work, and life is suffering a little bit. There is no intimacy in the relationship, something like that. So once you have those testimonials, then what you can do is that you can start group coaching. You can go ahead and consult 10 people at a time, 20 people at a time, 50 people at a time, put them on a webinar, and whatever you are giving as one-on-one consulting to these people, you will see a pattern that this is the same kind of problems that all the people are having. This will not happen if you are spreading yourself too thin. If you are coaching a student, then you are coaching a professional, then you are coaching someone on relationships, you will not find a pattern at all. The pattern will come only when you focus on one niche, and then you go deep, and then you will start seeing a repeat thing. Like if you ask your mom, or if you look at the details that you have already, you will notice that if you have been inside relationships category, within relationships category, there will be certain issues that are coming up over and over again, right?
Definitely, I'll need to
Yes.
talk to her. Basically, I am not aware of the clientele because it's need to be kept secret.
Yes,
So
yes, obviously.
definitely,
But if you ask your mom, she will know that there are
definitely, I'll
certain
talk
things
to
that are
talk to her.
repeating again and again, and you find out what are those things repeating. Obviously, you keep the psychologist-client relationship very confidential, but there will be a pattern. What are the common patterns? Okay, all the people are having issues with managing work and life at the same time. That might be the pattern. Then now, what you can do is that you can develop the mentoring curriculum, which is like a live mentoring curriculum around that particular issue, And then when you put out into the market, and when you are attracting that market will feel like, okay, this person, I cannot afford to get one-on-one consultation with them, because your mom is now eventually going to serve more people. So when she is serving more people, instead of one-on-one consultation, it should be more like a webinar or live classes. Usme you can also include some one-on-one sessions, but most of the content has to be delivered on a live webinar.
Life,
So that
definitely.
instead of consulting one-on-one, see, if you keep consulting one-on-one, then you cannot scale up the business, right? How much can you increase the price? If you become famous, maybe you can increase the price of single consultation a little bit, but it can't
Definitely, sir.
really happen. You cannot impact a lot
Definitely,
of
sir.
people with that.
Definitely, sir. Sir,
So
I'm just
yeah.
having one last question. I mean, our firm is right now not registered. I mean, it is just 2 to 3 months old. Okay, and basically, she has developed her own curriculum regarding certification that can be provided to Indian households that are looking for life coaching, or basically they want to pursue life coaching. So basically, we need to first register our firms, and after that, we can give certification, or it can be given by unregistered firms also.
See, certification, as long as it is not governed by any central body, giving a certificate can be done by anyone. You are just
Anyone.
endorsing. It's just your personal brand. Even I give certificates from Digital Deepak. It's not like I have to be registered with a government body to be eligible to give a certificate. And as long as you have a business current account or something like a partnership account or whatever, that should be enough.
Definitely, sir.
All
And
right.
sir, one more thing, just one last question.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, basically, I tried with Google Ads, and basically, the inbound market right now is not too good for life coaching and relationship coaching, because these keywords are not quite vastly searched
Yes.
as compared to. So basically, I should focus more on Facebook ads and Instagram ads, basically outbound marketing.
No, as I said, if you are going too broad, the biggest problem that you will feel is that you are not able to get the target market into your funnel because you are going too broad. You can't just say life coaching and expect people to be interested in you, because right from Tony Robbins, everyone is doing life coaching.
Definitely.
So if you look at specific keywords, when you go niche, right? So let's say relationship issues. Let's say relationship issues during lockdown. Okay, so during lockdown, relationship problems during lockdown, marriage problems during lockdown, and within marriage you have marriage difficulties. So if you look at marriage difficulties, let's say marriage difficulties during pregnancy. See now how fast I have been able to go inside a niche. Right
Narrowed
from
it down.
starting relationship problems, now we have gone into a specific niche, which is marriage difficulties during pregnancy, because to be honest, there is a statistic which says that most of the divorces happen when during the first year of the baby, because that period is extremely stressful. So this could be one niche.
One
And
niche.
when you are going narrowed down niche, you can actually tap into keywords that people are searching for in Google. And you can write blog post about it. You can have keywords about it. And you can have an article which says how to solve marriage difficulties or marriage problems during pregnancy. And
Definitely.
then you can probably have like an ad, and in the landing page you can give out an ebook which says top 10 problems on how to solve them during marriage, during pregnancy, inside a marriage. And that's how you get the lead, and then you engage them with a drip marketing sequence, and then you get them on a live webinar or a one-on-one consulting call, ask them to fill a form, and then reach out to them saying that, hey, I'm a expert in this, I can help you, I'm a psychologist. And that's how you get the clients. When you go niche, no, if you go
Yes.
Facebook or Instagram, it becomes too broad. You have to go Google, you have to go keyword, you have to do SEO and search engine marketing. That's when you will kind of get that. And you will also have like a target market. When you have a target market very clear, for example, let's say the target market is people who are in the age of 30 to 35-year-old woman, or 28 to 35-year-old woman. This is where they usually get pregnant for the first time. You can target that market within Facebook, and then you can advertise this, and then probably the
Definitely,
response
sir.
will be higher, right? If you just say,
Definitely, sir.
hey, I'm a relationship coach, or if you say just solve your relationship issues, nobody is going to click on it
No.
because they don't feel like it's talking to them.
So, sir, basically the advice is that I need to narrow down to
Yes.
one specific niche, and then establish my brand around it, and then scale the programs and all.
Yes. See, you will find out that if you go one niche and if you keep digging down into that niche, the market is so big. There are a billion people just in India, and there are hundreds and thousands of people who are in cities. and they have difficulties during pregnancy, during marriage. So I'm just giving you an example. You can choose one niche which is
Definitely, sir.
probably relevant for you, but within that niche, you will keep seeing that you are not hitting the bottom of the market yet. And by the time you hit the bottom of the market, who knows, you might become a billion-dollar company, right? If you just focus on
Definitely.
one niche, and then you can go broad. It's a general tendency of everyone to keep going broad, because people feel that in one narrow niche it's not deep enough, or it's not, the potential is not high enough. But if you are going too broad, it's basically like you have like a magnifying lens, and if you are have played this as a kid, if you try to put a paper and burn the paper using a magnifying lens, if the lens is covering like a huge area, the paper will not burn. And if it
Not
kind
one.
of it's in a
Definitely.
point, then the paper will start burning. So that clarity needs to be there, unless you are building a platform. So there are people who build platforms, and they bring in multiple experts into that platform. And when you are bringing multiple experts into the platform, then you need to go broad. So you need to be the horizontal, where multiple verticals can take place. So that's what I have done. I have always focused on digital marketing. And unless like it looks like digital marketing is 1,000 crore per year market just in India, if I try to
Yes,
take
sir.
the market. And why would I go and teach something else? Digital marketing itself is going to be big enough for me to
Definitely,
keep
sir.
digging into that niche. Unless you go to a rock bottom and you feel that there is no gold anymore, there is no reason to dig somewhere else. So getting back to the point where I was talking about starting with one-on-one consulting, finding the niche, and then going ahead and doing this group mentoring. In the group mentoring sessions, once people like your content so much, then what your mom can do, she can start creating recorded courses, and then she can start selling courses around
Selling
this.
courses.
And she
Definitely,
can
sir.
still do consulting. Now the funnel will become broad. Instead of 1,000 people, there might be 10,000 people who are learning from your mom. And let's say marriage difficulties during pregnancy, it can be a course in itself. If your mom seeing that this is the same problem that every couple is having, then there can be content around it, there can be a book around it. And once you create a course, that's when it will start scaling. And then you can start putting money into advertising, put a funnel, and the courses will start selling automatically. So basically, instead of your mom being there one on one,
One.
your mom is putting out the course, and the course is taking care of itself. So it's automation, right? The course
Automation.
is kind of
Definitely, sir.
doing the consulting for your clients.
Definitely, sir. I'll
Make sense?
definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. I mean, I'm having clarity right now. I'll
Yeah.
brainstorm it and then definitely follow this.
Cool, cool. And
And
I
sir,
hope you liked the internship program. So
sir,
what are
basic,
the things that you
basically,
learned in the
one
internship
thing that I
program?
would like to say, the best decision or the best thing that happened in whole 2020 was joining Digital Deepak.
Okay.
Definitely, sir. It's the best thing. I mean, I was able to take action. Before this, sir, actually, I used to teach 11th and 12th chemistry. I mean, from the first year of my college, I started teaching in the coachings out there. I mean, my college was in Udaipur. So I used to teach out there. And then I thought maybe I'd go into programming. I started into machine learning and all. And then I quit that. I mean, it was too stationary. I was not liking it. So, I mean, I changed paths here and there. And once I started with digital marketing, I got a clarity that, okay, I mean, this is something that I can scale. There is one thing in Hindi ki feel aa jati hai. So definitely that was the thing that, okay, this is the thing that I definitely need to keep in mind and follow. So, I mean, the internship was a life-changing experience for me. And sir,
Fantastic.
I've been following you since bike advice time. I mean, I
Oh,
used to
wow.
read about your articles, and when I got my first bike, the article you wrote about how to drive the bike for first 1,000 kilometers so that the engine does not knock. I mean, I just printed it out and I used to follow it as a journal.
Oh, wow. That's a very long journey. Like most of the people know me from the past few years. I started bike advice in 2008. So that's
Yes,
a
sir.
very,
Basically, I mean, I was crazy about cars and bikes, and that time there was not much channel. Autocar India was there, and Top Gear was there. And for bikes, I mean, I used to follow your like a journal, and I was like, okay, I mean, I know you before that, and then when I got the chance, ki, okay, you'll be mentoring me, I was like, okay, I'm in for it.
fantastic. Glad to know that. And I'm revamping the entire structure of the internship program. I'm coming
Yes,
up
sir.
with a
I
12-week
mean,
structure. So probably that will be even better. And
that
that
will
will be
break the
batch four.
market, sir. I mean, for batch four, it will break the market. I was there in that session, and I
Okay.
mean, definitely it would break the market, sir, because it is course created by the problems of the interns.
Yes, yes.
Definitely. So, sir, it will break the market because, sir, it is so comprehensive. And I mean, at a time, it would focus on your shortcomings that you don't have to, look out for resources or, I mean, everything would be served on a platter, sir. So,
Yes.
anyone who consumes it from from beginning to the end, they can do they can do wonders out of that course, definitely.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thanks a lot, Deepak, for saying that, and we share the same name as well. So high five for that.
Sure, sir.
So
Thanks a
all the
lot, sir,
best,
for this opportunity.
all the best for your future. And one more thing I want to ask: is it okay if I publish this interview?
Definitely, sir. No problem. No problem at all.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Thanks a
sir.
lot. All the best. And I would like to see how your entire consulting business evolves for your mom, and how she
Definitely,
becomes a
sir.
mentor, and
Sir,
how she becomes like an online course creator.
when you first release that you are open for consulting, I was continuously working for past 20 days ki I need to get these things right, and then I'll consult you. And then one day I saw the post, okay, that there is a chance of free consultation. I was like, I need to jump in right
Yes,
now.
yes.
Definitely.
Fantastic,
Thanks a lot, sir.
fantastic. All the best and have a great
Thank you,
day.
sir.
Chalo.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir. Bye, sir.